All right, everybody, we are here for another episode of the Digital Trade Show podcast, and I am very excited to have a fellow Ohioan, Kathy Jimeboy, with us this morning. Good morning.
Morning, how are you today?
I'm doing great. We were just talking about Ohio and think we kind of lived in the same city.
Yeah,
yes.
Cuyahoga Falls.
Cuyahoga Falls. I love it. She knew the high school and all that stuff. So
yeah,
awesome stuff. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Profitable Dentist Practice Owner Conference. Really excited to have you come on. So Kathy is from CreativeEdge Marketing, and she's going to talk to us today all about herself and her company and all of the great stuff that she is doing.
That's right.
Let's start with you. Let's start with your history and some of the great stuff that you've done, how you've got to where you are today.
All right, cool. So I've been in business, this year marks my 21st year. And I started out working with a lot of different companies. So it wasn't just in the dental niche. And from there, I ended up having one of my clients invite me to a dental show, one of his events. And when I went to that event, he sent all of his doctors over to talk to me. And I had an epiphany there, and I thought, these are the people I need to serve. And so I decided from that day that all I was going to focus on was dental. So I still have some clients that are non-dental, but I've been in the dental niche now for about 9 years.
Okay.
And I love it. I love it because, I can focus just on learning about dental, and I know so much about it, and then I can translate that information over to help, build practices.
Absolutely.
So that's a little bit about how I got to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I have one daughter. She just got married on New Year's Eve.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was fun.
New Year's Eve, where was it at?
It was in Cleveland.
Okay, cool.
Cold. It was like -10 that day.
-10.
And she had an ice cream cake for her wedding cake, which was like crazy, but it was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful wedding. Memory that you always will have.
Absolutely.
So I'm waiting for those grandbabies.
Okay.
I'm not sure they're going to come, but,
What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Allie.
Allie, no pressure. No pressure at all. Mom is out there and just gracefully said, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Well, she's a school teacher, so
Okay.
She says she has plenty of kids right now.
Yeah.
So I get that. But we'll see. Hopefully, every mom and dad wants grandbabies, right?
Of course.
Especially because you can say, "Oh, you're so sweet. Here you go, back to mom and dad," right?
Yes. So talk a little bit about CreativeEdge. And I mean, you know how it is, Kathy. In the world of marketing now, especially in dentistry, there are so many different things to learn, know about.
True.
Talk about how, I guess, who CreativeEdge is and some of the things that you do.
Okay, sure. So we really focus with dentists that are already successful, that are looking to grow.
Okay.
So from whatever aspect that means for them, maybe they're looking to retire, or they're looking to sell and they need to build up their practice from there, or maybe they're plateauing, or maybe they're going down.
Right.
And they need some other way of getting new patients or retaining the existing ones that they have. Depending on whatever their situation is, what we do is we offer a comprehensive marketing. And what I mean by that is it's not just digital, where there's a lot of companies out there offering a digital product.
Sure.
We offer comprehensive because just like in dentistry, that's kind of where it's at. You don't want, not that online marketing or digital marketing doesn't work, it does, but you want to be able to have that space covered as well as traditional marketing as well as internal. So depending on where that practice is, we're doing a custom plan for them.
Okay.
And that might be looking internally to see, okay, how are you communicating with your patients to keep them loyal? What are you doing on your recall schedule to keep them on the schedule? Mm-hmm. What are you doing for referrals? So internally we look at that, and then we look traditionally, where can we be out in the marketplace? So we're covering all aspects because not everybody is digital.
Right.
And so from there, we're working to also be more personal with the doctor. So we are communicating with them on a regular basis, my team and I, and we're always working for them.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the things that sets us apart from other companies out there. And that helps to build the team with them and, with their team members and get everything working.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, as you know, with your experience, you can have the greatest plan, you can have the greatest strategy, and something works, it doesn't work, something changes, and you want to be able to reach out to somebody. I know I like to do that. I love to be able to have somebody that I can lean on, that based on the situation, I can call them and they're there
right.
to give some advice or some
Right.
support or feedback or what have you.
Right. Yeah, we actually answer the phone and talk to them, you know.
Beautiful. Love that. Answering
It's
the
kind
phone.
of a different concept these days, right? Yeah. So, and we also the other thing that we do that sets us apart is we measure and track what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies that do that as well.
Sure.
But this gives the doctor confidence that what the money that he's spending is working.
Sure.
And if something isn't going the way that it should, we can easily switch gears and not spend all those dollars and not wait until the last minute to find out, hey, this isn't working.
Right.
So we report on that on a monthly basis as well.
You know, I was thinking as you were talking about not just the digital pieces of marketing, still to this day, when I go to my mailbox, if I get a piece in the mail from a local dental practice, we read it.
Right.
Because you don't get them all the time.
Right.
You know, like you do the car companies or the grocery. So when it does come, especially if it's done nice, I pay attention. So
Right.
I think that probably still works for a lot of patients, I would
Absolutely.
imagine. Yeah.
It's actually one of the biggest sources of new patients for a lot of our dentists.
Yeah.
And, people will say it's dead. It is not dead.
Sure.
Everybody reads their mail.
Yeah.
And it is about how that postcard is done.
Mm-hmm.
The more personal we make it, the better response we get.
Absolutely.
It's not about having stock photos on it.
Right.
It's about having the doctor on there, the
Right.
team on there, how they're different, just like I'm saying how I'm different.
Sure.
That's what is going to appeal to somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
What's their story? And
Right.
certainly it sounds like you do a really good job of helping them understand their story
Right.
and what makes them unique and things like that.
Yeah.
So they don't have those stock pictures, where people are just like this, right?
Right. It's just it doesn't create emotion.
Sure.
And all you're trying to do is evoke emotion, whether that's through online reviews, through the postcards, through whatever you're doing for the doctor to promote them, is to create emotion in that prospective patient that makes them think, wow, these guys have it going on. I need to call them.
Sure.
I feel good about them.
Right. So 9 years ago you started?
Yeah.
Okay. I have such a large admiration for any new business owner that has to start from scratch, because
Yeah.
it's easy to look back now
It sure is.
with where you are, but going back to those early days, can you share with me maybe the first couple of months when you decided to start the company, or the first 3 or 4 months?
Oh, yeah.
And just a little bit about that and what it took, and I think maybe looking back, what you learned from that.
Well, when I started with my sister, and we started selling graphic design services.
Okay.
We worked out of her basement for 3 months, didn't get a paycheck. And so it took a while to build that up. We had some clients, but I was really the salesperson going out, getting other business, and she was a graphic designer. And so we then were able to have enough money to move into office space. And, we're like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Until you can build that up, and then you can make other decisions and hire other people and
Yep.
start doing other things. It's tough. It
Yeah.
is tough.
It is tough. And again, I mean, I think that for anybody in today's day and age, the whole life of an entrepreneur can tend to be glorified.
Oh, yeah.
However, those that have done it and gone through all the tough times and have made it can certainly appreciate, what it took to get you there.
Yeah. It's still tough.
Yeah.
It's not easy having your own business. People, and even a dentist, they know this.
Sure.
I mean, they wear so many hats.
Yeah.
It's hard for them too. So.
Did you start in the Northeast Ohio area?
Yes.
So you were just
I'm
going
still
office
there.
to office and
Yeah.
doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was making cold calls. And I had been in the hotel industry.
Okay.
And so I had a lot of contacts from that.
Yeah.
And so I called on all those people that I had, all those really good relationships, and I got business from them
Sure.
for graphic design services. And so, but it was making cold calls, which I don't do that now. I mean, I get a lot of my business from attending events like these,
Sure.
or referrals from my current clients.
Yeah.
But certainly not picking up the phone and randomly calling some doctor, which
Right.
is just such
Yeah.
a tough way to go.
It is tough. And I think that's what's so exciting and fun about some of these new mediums, especially, like this event.
Yeah.
It gives companies like yourself that type of exposure for people to learn about you. I shared maybe 10, 11 years selling products to dentists, and then had the opportunity to work on the other side of the desk and work with them as a coach and things like that. And I always had this special place in my heart for the rep that would come in and would want to get just 5 minutes of their time to talk about their product and service, because it's hard.
It is hard.
And what I learned is that that's what I think is so great about dentistry, is even though the doctors and the office managers, hygienists, dental assistants are busy, so many of them really do want to learn what's out there. It's just challenging.
Right.
So,
Well, we're always on top of what's happening, and the internet is such a big, it's always changing, constantly, what's going on in the landscape. There's some things right now that are coming up that are changing. And so we're always educating our team to stay on top of that so we can adapt whatever we're doing for the doctor. I can't imagine an office keeping up on that.
Yes.
It's almost impossible.
Yes, absolutely. So did you clients now outside of Ohio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I'm sure you started in the early days.
Yep.
And then, like you said, word of mouth, and so it sounds like it's grown, which is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have them all. Mainly, we work with people east of the Mississippi, I would say. That's pretty much where they are.
Okay.
Not a lot on the West Coast, but not to say that we can't.
Sure.
It's just this is just really how it's been built so far.
Yeah.
I think maybe because a lot of the events that I've attended and that sort of thing, they're more in locations or drawing from those areas.
Got it. Yeah.
So naturally just flows that way.
Yeah.
But certainly can really go anywhere.
Yeah. How about maybe a specific practice that you can think about maybe here in the last couple of months or in the last year that had some really cool results from the work that you guys did with them? Maybe talk a little bit about their story.
Sure. So if I'm thinking mainly of one where when we first started working with them, and we've been working with them for, I think this is our 4th year, their new patients was like a roller coaster. They would go down, go up, go down. There was nothing consistent. And so we started implementing different things. So I always start out with them, what's your low-hanging fruit? It's mainly referrals, it's internal, it's the internal things.
Sure.
Getting those things in place. So we put together a referral system for them, communication with their patients. Then we started working online and doing things online and getting them reviews. And the reviews that we get for them are very, again, like the messages that we create, whether that's an ad in a newspaper or a direct mail piece, very emotional. So they're so close to the appointment that they're talking about the procedure and they're talking about how the doctor made them feel.
Right.
And some of them you could read them and they'll bring tears to your eyes.
Sure.
And that's really awesome. So getting that stuff out online. And then when the patients are coming in, I came to you because I read your reviews.
Right.
So for them, what has transpired is over the course of the years and building up their new patients, they're now at a place where they don't drop below that
what's coming
where
in
they
every
were
month.
The lowest 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So let's say they started and the lowest that patients they had in that year was 6. Now they're at 12 and they don't drop below 12.
Right.
And it's amazing to see when you graph it, because I can put it on a graph,
right,
and you can just see it going like this.
Yeah. And
that's what it's about, is that exponential growth. Is the more, if you can't drop below 12, if you don't drop below 12, now you have 6 more than you had before. That's exponential.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it's also making sure that back door isn't wide open too, and keeping the patients loyal. So what they're doing internally with that patient experience, and much like what they talked about here this weekend was the new patient experience. So important.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask about that, where in traditional marketing, there's so much focus on new patients.
Yes.
But as you know very well, there is millions of dollars of dentistry that needs to be done with the existing patients.
Right.
Because it's almost like there's so much focus on feeling like you got to feed it, and then it's just going out the back door in many cases.
Right.
So is that something that you guys do as well from a marketing perspective, when they come to you and say, what can we do with our existing patient base that maybe we've tried to present treatment, reminding them? Talk a little bit about that.
Right. So one of the things that we do is we look at their recall. What are they doing for recall? What is the method that they're using?
Right.
And we like to get in place a more solid system where they are, contacting them basically until they say, quit calling me, or they're on the schedule.
Sure.
And then from there too, it's maintaining communication with them. So we do a monthly newsletter that goes out, email. We're using maybe Solution Reach or Lighthouse or whatever communication device they're using. And that, we can track that through Solution Reach very easily. You can see how many people opened it. You can see where they clicked. People are getting referrals from those newsletters. They're getting appointments scheduled.
Right.
And they're keeping that practice at the top of their mind. Because the average is that I've heard, the average patient comes in every 13 months. It's not 6 months like everybody likes to think.
No.
It's 13 months.
13.
So I'm not thinking about you for 12 months out of the year. And if somebody comes to me and says, oh, my tooth hurts, I don't think about you. Right? But if you're in my email every month, I'm gonna be at the top of your mind.
Absolutely.
Right? And so from that standpoint, that works really well. It's communicating with them. We've also done things like we create a PowerPoint presentation that we run in the waiting area so that patients can see what the practice has available. And that I know works because I've had doctors say, yeah, these people came in because they watched the loop of what our services are, and now they're requesting Botox. Where they, so it's
they would have never known.
And I think a lot of practices think, well, they know what we do that. They don't know that you do that.
No, they don't.
You need to keep telling them what you do. So those newsletters are important too, because we always highlight a service. Here's what we're doing, so that they can think about themselves and maybe I should check into getting a smile makeover.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing that you're really excited about right now? Certainly, there's so many cool things. You mentioned, Solution Reach and a lot of these different technologies out there that I'm sure are additions to what you do when you come up with a strategy. But maybe share something that you're just really excited about in dentistry that you're seeing that's got you motivated to keep moving forward with helping these practices.
Well, one of the things that we're doing now is we're offering press releases, online press releases.
Oh.
And it works within a week. We can get a practice on the first page of Google.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so we just started doing it about 3 months ago, and I have, practices showing up on the first page.
Wow.
And so the objective is to keep doing that on the services that they're offering so that anybody searches, there they are.
Yeah.
And it's usually in cases where they're maybe not showing up very well. Maybe their website is not that great and they need to redo it, but they're not at the point where they want to spend the money to do that. So what else can we do to get them there?
Sure.
So that's really exciting.
And not really expensive to do that.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not like redoing a website.
Sure.
So that's what I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about, too, the way that we approach when we're running paid traffic, say it's Google or Facebook. We work in the background to convert that traffic that comes in. They drop in, if you want to call it a funnel system, a lot of people may not know what that means.
Right.
But it's really just us following up so your team doesn't have to, but always working to get that patient to walk down the path to call the office.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So those are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
things.
I mean, tip of the day, press release.
Yes.
I love that. That's a really, really
Yeah.
good tip for a Saturday morning.
Plus here, there's some really good companies here that I'm excited to go back to my doctors and share with them.
Yeah.
Because I think it could really make a difference in what they're doing. So
I have to say, Kathy, it's one of the great things about dentistry. You just see more and more that there's a lot more collaboration going on.
Yeah.
Hearing you talk about wanting to leverage some of the other services a lot of these companies have, it's how beneficial is that for the dentist and their team, right? I mean, to the fact that companies are putting 2 and 2 together and saying, you know what? Yes, I can help you, but it's not just me. I'm at this company and they're doing this and they're doing this, and it just becomes this massive resource for the dental practice, which I think that's a very good point. That's cool.
Yes, that's what I love that.
Yeah.
I love that if I can help them.
Yeah.
And I can share something that I learned.
Sure.
I'm always looking and I'm always interested in finding stuff like that out.
One last thing they got to check when they're trying to research.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so how can people learn more about you, find out about what you're doing east of the Mississippi and even west of the Mississippi?
Yeah, sure. Our website is CreativeEdgeMarketing.com. It's Creative Edge with 1 E.
Yes.
So that's kind of always can trip people up. I thought that was kind of creative when I came up with it, but in the end, it's really not. But anyway, one of the things that we're doing to introduce ourselves to people, because, when you select a marketing company, you really don't know that they can help you.
Yeah.
There's a big trust factor
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
And so we have a proprietary review system that does things no other review system has. And we're offering a free trial of that system so a doctor can try it out, see how well it works, get to know how we work.
Right.
And then, from there decide, I want to move forward, or, this isn't for me.
Absolutely.
So it's a real easy way to do that. And we have that offer on our Facebook page right now, which is CreativeEdge Marketing.
Excellent.
And they can just go and sign up for that and get the ball rolling.
Perfect. So I have been told, and hopefully it is Saturday morning, that there are a lot of people that are watching this. Is there a special or a promotion that you would like to share with everybody this morning? Would that be the best one?
The review, or even if they might want to check out press release, and if they're looking to get on the front page of Google, I'd be more than happy to talk to them about that as well. Now that offer is not on our Facebook page,
sure,
but they could certainly get in touch with us and see how that works. And
Excellent.
I would let them try it and see it, and
perfect.
They'll prove that it works and be happy that they're on the first page.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so some fun questions. You good?
All right.
All right, here we go. So if there was a song that best described you and your career, or a genre of music, what would it be?
Well, it's hard for me to pick just one song, I guess. But I do like classic rock. That's my favorite. So, and I think I like it because it's fast moving and
And you don't hear it that much anymore. Well, I guess that's why they call it classic. That was kind of a dumb statement, but you're right.
Yeah.
Plus, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's in
That's
Cleveland,
right.
which is always a cool thing.
Yeah, that is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I have. Yes, pretty special place.
It is.
Absolutely.
I was just there recently. Hadn't been there in a while.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is awesome, and it's just cool that it's in
amazing.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
So how about a place that you haven't been able to travel to yet that you would love to go to?
Oh, I've got a long list of those. So I would say I want to go to Costa Rica.
Okay.
Might go there this Christmas. I'd love to go to like New Zealand and Australia. I mean, there's just and one place I haven't been here in the United States is Boston.
Okay.
Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
it's a great city. A lot of history there. A lot of firsts.
That'd be so cool.
First public beach, first public school.
Really?
I mean, yeah. So it's kind of a lot of history there. It's a
that's where I
great
wanna
town.
go. I think it would be really cool.
Absolutely. So how about, you've had the opportunity now over the last 9 years to work with a lot of dental practices, and I'm sure make relationships. If you had the opportunity to speak with younger dentists that are getting ready to open up a practice, from what you've learned in the marketing world, one piece of advice that you would offer up to them?
I would say make sure that they have a great team that's on board with them, and that they're creating the best patient experience, because they're up against corporate dentistry that can't do that.
Sure.
And that's one way that they can set themselves apart, and make sure all their internal systems are set up.
Yeah.
Because that's really the base for everything.
Yeah.
And once they have that, then bringing in people is easy.
Yeah, it's so true. And I know there was a lot of talk about that yesterday, team building and the importance of it. And it's so exciting to see that I think more and more practices are focusing on that.
Right.
Continuing education is steering towards that. For so long, it was focused on clinical, rightfully so, in order to sharpen your clinical skills. But those other two legs of the stool, people skills and practice management, are so important.
They really are.
Yeah.
It's what makes people stay.
Are you a Cavs fan?
I am a Cavs fan.
Are we going to pull it out tomorrow?
I hope so.
Me too.
We'll see. I don't know. It's a little sketchy, isn't it?
We got to believe, right?
It's Believe Land.
It is Believe Land, yes. So, Kathy, this has been awesome.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming on and talking about what you do. Love your story, and certainly I hope everybody learns more about CreativeEdge Marketing. And I love the press release idea. So be sure to check out their website, learn more about Kathy, her team, and continue to grow your practice. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.